Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamualaikum. Ji ayanu, pakhairagale, ni hao, chunashumme, washmale. Ohaya gunzaimas, guten Morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal? Hale shuma chatore, halan masal, marhaba, buna, mucho gracias. Swabi aballi kare aaya. Hoş geldin and ayo sayo, khuyamora, chivato, chi haljot, kali mera, khairotan. And a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and watching World this morning on a fine, rainy Monday morning over in Islamabad. I happen to be Shahzad Hassan Khan, and with me, I'm very lucky that I've been joined by my very well-learned colleague who happens to be Miss Haja Sati. Hello Haja, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kaifa halik?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much for introducing me. Jazakallah khair. Like you mentioned, it's a very rainy morning in Islamabad. It's Monday. Usually Monday gives us scares and dreads because it is the start of the week. But I think with the weather that is happening in Islamabad, we're very excited. We are really glad that at least rain is here and it has broken the back of a very scorching sun that we used to experience and witness in Islamabad. And according to the Met Office, we are expecting rather the rain for this week in a continuous manner, and I think that's a good thing. But please plan your travels and trips accordingly. There is also prediction of the urban flash flooding, so make sure that you do not travel unnecessarily out of your house.
Exactly, and in addition to this, I believe that everybody needs to be prepared as well. You know, imagine, so in different parts of the country, there will be warnings given away as well because of this monsoon rain season, which is over here in our country. And unfortunately, for the previous few years, we have seen that there's been flooding in different parts of the country. So for all of those people, we certainly pray for your safety. Please make sure that you look after yourselves as well. There shouldn't be any unnecessary traveling. I mean, only if you need to go somewhere because it's urgent, then make sure that you take that decision. Otherwise, stay inside with your children. It's summer vacations time, enjoy with them. There's another thing, I think, where citizens can enjoy too as well. Now, imagine that this is a very innovative idea. I don't know whether a lot of people are aware of it or not, but I believe that in Pakistan, we have a lot of opportunities to do so. So there's an artist named David Zinn, and he actually came up with a fabulous idea. So imagine if there was a broken wall or something wasn't really right, he would actually go over there and make sure that he's going to make some street art. Now imagine that all of these pictures look so fantastic. Imagine walking on this walkway, you know, just looking at these cartoons and structures. It just looks beautiful. What do you think about it?
I think that's wonderful, and if I remember it correctly, so a few years ago there was also a similar sort of a campaign in Karachi, because you've been to Karachi and you know the sort of administrative problems you face whenever there's a rain, and because of the fact that a lot of people also what did they steal the gutter caps right there, and there was a campaign, a very concerted campaign, a citizenship campaign in which they wanted to highlight this particular problem, and they also had some sort of marking on the gutter, so in order to bring the attention of the authorities to this problem. But I think we also need to check, because the last I checked back when I was a student, so graffiti is banned in Pakistan, and I think that this is a high time that we need to rethink that law, and that's a very creative expression, right? So you see that there's a lot of creativity involved in that. It's a very creative way of bringing attention into it, and apart from that, that also encourages the artists who might not be able to afford those fancy, what do you call, the curator galleries or artworks, and if they can display their art on the street walls, on such sort of public spaces, this is the best way. And I think one of the famous artists in this regard that pops up in my mind is the Banksy, right? So Banksy is famous for having these wall graffitis and for making all of these very expensive sort of a public art, very bringing and infusing it into the public spaces, and that is something that we needs to be encouraged, and that should be how it should be, right?
Exactly, and you know what, not just that. So imagine that I'm going to name a few countries where I've been myself, and I've seen that, you know, that people actually are into such sort of art as well, and there are competitions which are taking place. So imagine, number one was Austria. I do have pictures as well if somebody wants. Obviously, I don't know whether the government allows it or not, but the kids are at it. So Austria, I've seen it. I didn't see it in Sweden. I saw it in Amsterdam. I always see it in London. You know, so it's almost all over the world as well, and even in abandoned buildings. Now imagine that's where the students go and express whatever they want to express as well. It's a great idea. I mean, until and unless you're not drawing something which is obscene, I mean, that's not what we want. So this is something which was fascinating, we wanted to share. But not just that. See, it's a skill. And in today's time, we've always spoken about how important it is for us to have skill. Now, I'll give you an example that the top 500 Fortune companies do not really demand a degree from you now. You know, they say that, okay, whatever we want you to do, if you are good at it, that's all we care about. Now, when we talk about skills, ladies and gentlemen, in today's time where there's artificial intelligence, information technologies progress so much, you know, there's so many things. And, you know, in a flick of a second, we do see that the technology is changing. We really need to cope up. We really need to pace up. But we do not certainly see universities booming up with such disciplines because of the fact that there will be business administration, mechanical engineering, ye wali engineering, doctor ka job. I mean, we need to move on. What's your take on this, Hajra?
That's very true, and thank you so much for pointing it out. And I think to further explore the intersection of the skills management and how we can incorporate the element of women empowerment, and also at the same time making sure that a younger population, I think Pakistan is blessed to have 60% of the younger population in our country. There is someone in the studio who is going to explain the intersection of the global skill development, that too at the intersection of women empowerment and the youth empowerment. We're very glad that we have been someone from the Edinburgh University, where she has done her master's in strategic management. Then she also happens to have her degree from the Harvard University. So she has lots of feathers in her cap. We are very glad that we have been joined by Dr. Sonia Salim. She is the CEO of the Smart Education Technology Group. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much, Dr. Sonia, for coming to our show.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much, Shehzad and Hajra. And Hajra, thank you so much for a lovely introduction.
And I think
I am just thinking, you know, I have done so many things.
And I think you truly deserve that, and your CV is very impressive at
Thank
best.
you.
So Dr. Sonia, tell us about your journey. How did you come up with this idea of global skill development? And like Shehzad was asking you behind the screen, that what exactly does the global skill mean, right?
So, Hajra, global skill means you're equipping a student to become something. Like they can get the job, they can be employer, but how I started it, it's basically a passion. When I started this journey, I used to introduce international brands to Pakistan, and I've been, you know, studying to different countries. Then I brought hardware, software. Then suddenly I realized, I think our student, our youth need some kind of international skill certification so that they can get employment. If you see in Pakistan, there are like different dharnas are going on, there are different people busy in different things. They need some job. You know, you said, okay, you need some job, that means you need a real job. So real job you can get if you can get these kind of certification. Kind of certification, I mean, it's different varieties. We have conventional,
your pictures as well,
non-conventional. Yes, there are so many students. It's a must. We have signed
by the president.
Yes.
You know, there's so many accolades that you've achieved, alhamdulillah. But it always speaks about this unique business idea that you came up with. Now, imagine that you were at Edinburgh, you were at Harvard. What struck your mind, where you thought that, hey, you know what, with 60% of youth bulge, we really need to make sure that all of them are working. Please go ahead.
Yeah, that's really a good question. This is what I thought, Shehzad, when I was there. There were different scenarios where like there are different family members and different family friends. They were contacting me that you need to send these students to, you know, different countries. So they were asking for my help if I can plan something for them. So suddenly I realized this fact that, you know, Harvard is a good, obviously it's my university, I always say. It's very good university, and I'm blessed that I got the, Then I went to Harvard University, where I was seeing these things, you know, the practical work. They were not focusing on the studies that much. Theory is just a theory. You need to be, you know, go through to the process.
Critical thinking process.
Yes, if you are going through the process, then you will be able to get the proper know-how, you know, how you can, you know, utilize these things in your, you know, different day-to-day life.
Exactly.
So start from, yes, you have.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So start from the student life. I was thinking to include this thing, you know, whenever I'll start my business, whenever I'll do some kind of job, I'll be focusing on.
So how many centers do you have? You know, we are talking about Smart Education Technologies Group now.
Yes.
You know, so you've established them, and what sort of skills are we talking about? And did you do your research that, okay, these are the skills that are required? And are we preempting that, okay, you know, in 2025, by 2030, these are the skills which people will require? Please.
So this technology keeps on changing. You're aware of it. You have iPhone 14. That's true. You have, today you have one phone. I born in October 10th. So every October, I used to ask my father, you know, I need another phone
Okay.
because it's coming like it's a new launch.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in technology certification. We have conventional and non-conventional certification where we are providing, if we are providing Unity 3D, we are providing Microsoft certification, we are providing and training students on different, to be entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So employment, how to do, proper, I was discussing with you about the engineers in
Yep,
Pakistan,
yep.
they're brilliant, but they cannot sell themselves
Communicate, yeah.
because communication skill, the soft skill is missing.
So what sort of communication skills do you give them? Because people who are shy, people who are introverts, people who do not like to talk a lot, how do you help them then?
Actually, the thing is, there is a process.
Okay.
In Pakistan, if you talk about the studies, I will not object on it because it's a, PTV, so I won't say anything about our curriculum and things.
We do not stop any of our guests to say whatever they want to say,
Yeah.
but it's certainly your choice. And while we are at it, when it comes down to communication, I do see that there are a lot of problems. But students who've not attended universities, they occur it or they come across it most of the time. And the reason being because, those presentation skills are missing. Because we
Yeah.
were at university every
Yeah.
single day, our teachers were like, chalo bhai, tum presentation.
Yes.
And we had to be there.
Yeah, that's
So how do you do it now?
I think first thing, if you're saying I am allowed to say, something about the government. So I think policy level change
Yep.
we need. Degrees are really important. Whenever I hire somebody, they are coming to my office. I never ask them, a student or anyone, they're interested to do jobs
Okay.
or so. First thing I ask, I never check the degrees,
Yep.
masters, bachelors, or PhD.
Yeah.
I only go for the what the person want to do.
Wow.
If they want to do something in accounts,
Yep.
if they want to do something in presenting, if they are good in business development, so we keep them.
Wow.
So this is the procedure,
Yep.
and the procedure they need to follow. They need to research a lot. In Pakistan, there is not a single
So
platform.
the way you studied at Edinburgh or Harvard, that's what you're actually implying, and you're making
Yes.
sure that that they
Yeah,
use
I'm
their
successful
brains.
so far.
Alhamdulillah.
And how is the receptibility? I mean, how open were the people, what your target market audience, I would say, when you first went out there? What are some of the missing gaps that you have identified, and then you do feel that you need to work on them in order to improve this?
So when
infrastructure?
I was doing my research in Pakistan, so I got to know that there are brilliant women, but they're not allowed to work as they can't go to the offices, but they're allowed to do the teaching.
Yep.
They can be doctor, like
Yeah.
medicine doctor, but their parents are a little bit reluctant to send them
Apprehensive,
outside
yes.
because of the security concern or any norms and tradition we have. So what we have done, we are training them. Like there are few names. I won't take the name.
Sure.
The females, they are actually masters in computer sciences,
Yeah.
but they are teachers. Now, right now, they're earning more than $1,000 by sitting at home.
MashaAllah.
So this is something, this is the achievement, I
Yeah,
would say.
true.
I have so many case studies. Time is actually short. I can share it with you, and
do,
maybe I come
do
again.
share your success story, please. We're
Yeah,
all
yeah.
ears.
Yes. So we, if charity starts from home.
That's
So we have recently hired one, office boy. He was, I think, intermediate. This is FA, FSC.
Yep.
So he was just serving the tea before. Suddenly I realized I think this person need to grow because I am sitting here, I am providing the skills. So why can't we, do something about it?
True.
So we have managed to, he conducted one exam, which is Pearson exam.
Okay.
And now he's the invigilator of a Pearson, it's a big organization.
Wow.
Right.
So this is the achievement, the first achievement we have
MashaAllah.
done. Now, and then we are working with the Prime Minister's youth program.
Wow.
I'm also working with the Chief Minister's, one initiative
Yep.
on IT skills.
Right.
So this is what right now we are doing, and actually so far I can tell people are going abroad. People are, by getting those credit hours, because it's the off-call registered things we are providing.
And Dr. Sonia, this is a very interesting conversation going on because I and Shahzad, we have been constantly talking and advocating that, and I think this is the model that is followed in the West too, that they don't see, there's not a race to earn the degrees out there. So after their, high school or whatever FSC equivalent of the Pakistan, so what they see is that if a student has the research capabilities, only then they are going to recommend that student to the university, right? And if they do not have it, then they are recommending him to some vocational training center and technical training center. And in Pakistan, I think few years ago, there was a dearth of good vocational training centers here. But I do feel, after having interacting with a guest like you, that there are centers that are propping up, or generally there is a conversation going on, right?
Yeah.
So in this regard, what sort of conversations do you think we need to have? Because that zeal of getting degrees from the universities, and universities are also churning out a lot of PhDs, right? Regardless of their potential, but this just a race out there that you need to get the
or
PhD.
even the requirement of the market,
Yes.
whether there is or not.
If it is a utilitarian purpose or not, there's no debate on that. So what sort of conversations do you think we need to have in order to encourage people to go for the vocational or technical training skills?
So far, as far as my organization is concerned, we are signing MOUs with different universities, colleges, top names, Namal, NUST. We have signed MOU with NEFTEC. We are trying to convince. There is a British Council event was there, like it was going on a few days back. So they are involving the industry now. So industry mean the people who are connected with different fields. So we are into this field and we are providing our feedback.
Right.
So this is how you can make the good center of excellence if they are providing. We have around 200 testing center in whole Pakistan now.
Wow.
It's like on the grassroots level we are there. I was there to launch our first initiative in Balochistan, and in Quetta I did my first first, I won't say first, but second testing center there. And I've seen the talent in Pakistani youth.
But Dr.
Thank
Sonia,
you. Thank you so much.
when you talk about Quetta, Balochistan, you brought a very important point, and I think certainly you highlighted the differences of education in the periphery and the core of the country, right? So when we are talking about technical education and skill training, or generally the literacy rate, so we see that urban areas have quite a good amount of that literacy rate, but that gap is missing when we talk about the rural areas, and I think those people also need to be empowered and brought at par with the urban areas. So what about those audiences? Because I think they're also the best audiences to target.
I think, Hajira, they are already empowered as far as I know, because we have done the research before we brought this brand in Pakistan. So we have areas like Gilgit-Baltistan. We have the option of exam from home. If they are in far-flung area, they want to conduct exam. This is what we do, like conducting the exam. Without evaluation, we will not give the certificate. It's been ages. In Pakistan, the education departments or many people are only providing the trainings, trainings, which is good. I won't say it's bad. Now this is the time to test them. Starting from zero
so then there you are, testing all of them. And they're like, okay, we finally got out of intermediate or university, and now we have to do another exam. It's good.
So in those areas, when we are testing them, so we got to know the results are better than in urban areas.
And I was about to say that, because imagine that in GB, the literacy rate is more than 90%. Now this is something that people need to know.
Only read and write.
And so the best part over here is, because that's the definition of literacy, but the best part over here is that their company didn't really leave any stone unturned, and they knew where the students would be and what they want and what sort of talent. It's great. Now, so we've spoken about communication skills, soft skills, we've spoken about that, but can you provide our viewers with the list of other, courses that they can enroll themselves in, and how useful they will be in days to come? For example, you mentioned communication skills, we do know artificial intelligence, information technology. What can you provide us with other disciplines as well?
Yes, first thing first is IT is everywhere now. So you need to be, trained enough to, at least use your smartphone, and this is what we can do best.
I mean, if you can use your smartphone, you can do anything pretty much. Yes.
In Pakistan, every student is making the content. Some people are saying on TikTok, it's bad, it's good. I think I've seen it. There are brilliant students, there are brilliant people are making good content as well. So what we can do, we can, just figure out, maybe the government of Pakistan help us, and we can just make a research paper where we can include the other skills. There is a hotel management skill, which is much needed. It's an international, arena. If you go, they are looking for these kind of employees. Then we have, other non-conventional.
Even within the tourism industry, we have a lot of different fields.
Tourism, hotel management, then welding, plumbing. Then the Kamul, they are talking about, in different, because different countries are having different kind of certification, student need. So they need to have those certification as per the country
But this is the exact reason why I asked you this question. Now imagine that now there's a time in Pakistan that we're talking about these skills, but majority of these skills are not really high paid skills, right? You know,
Yes.
obviously they will provide that gentleman or lady, you know, a skill with which they can run their household, but they would never get into a white collar job, right?
Yes, that's true.
How do you think that we actually can, you know, use our technologies and resources to make sure that, you know, we provide them with a skill which will make them end up on a table with a laptop rather than with a wrench in a plumbing field, you know, because this will have its drawback in years to come.
Yes.
Because today we are preparing them for plumbing and all of that. तो आने वाले 30 सालों के बाद या 20 सालों के बाद everybody would be like, कोई मजदूरी का काम कराना है यहाँ से बंदे बुला लो. You know, so how do we change this very mentality?
Actually, Shahzad, if they are getting trained by us or any organization, they are training them on plumbing, they will not stick to it. They will not avail this
तो माशाल्लाह
opportunity
किसी
to
को
do
एक काम भी दो वो तो उस पे नहीं टिकता. दरअसल मैं चाह रहा हूँ मुझे कहीं और काम मिल
So
जाए.
they will prefer going abroad. To be honest, the situation in Pakistan is a little bit different now. So I would always, you know, say one person in every family should be there, because you know, earning in dollars and pounds and spending in Pakistani rupees is amazing. So I think I would say that they will be getting good jobs, but the platform, they need to do research. The good platforms are already there, so they need to contact them. The jobs are available.
True.
Even one organization in Germany, they contacted us and they want few, you know, engineers.
Wow.
So youth is totally off in Germany right now because of COVID.
And they
So
need
you
to speak
hardly
German
see-
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
German language is the
Right.
only thing they can, you know.
It's very
work,
difficult,
yes.
yeah.
And I think
Not
and
really.
Germany really requires skilled labor, especially from the South Asian region. But Dr. Sonia, so let's talk about your future projects that you are interested in, and you know, do you want to expand the scope of it? You know, how do you envision your organization in the coming years?
Actually, I have a few plans to make the academies. We have 200 centers already established.
Okay.
Only in IT. So I'm thinking to focus on other technologies as well, like
Non-IT.
Shahzad mentioned, non-IT, where we have potential in Pakistan. And since we are connected with the, you know, international market, so we can provide this platform
True.
to the students. So this is my plan to make you know, maximum academies, maximum testing center, and our reach.
Okay.
And different organizations are already working there, but I would like to involve communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you involve community, it becomes very easy for you
True.
to, you know, training of trainer. My team train them and they train further.
And that's really important as well. But very quickly towards the end, you know, before we wrap up this segment, there's one more rather a humble request.
Yes.
And that is that, you know, we do impart, you know, such education and trainings where we want people to have a skill. That's perfect.
Yes.
But unfortunately, and I really feel sad about it, see, when me and Hajra, we wake up, you know, we're excited about the work we do.
Yeah.
You know, we get ready, we give it whatever we have, you know, put all our energy in it. Now imagine when you come to your workplace and you see there's somebody who's not dressed up properly, किसी का पसीना आ रहा है, किसी का बटन खुले हुए हैं, you know, they don't care. You know, I want people to kind of be excited about the kind of work they're doing, you know, get ready. There's this is a skill set for yourself as well.
Workplace grooming and etiquette,
where you
yes.
need to groom yourself, you know, you look good at work. Do you think that, you know, this will be a bigger market as well? Because imagine that in my bachelor's first semester, we had a personality development course with credit hours of three credit hours. And, you know, our professor was amazing. He told us what socks to wear, you know, what belt to wear, everything. And, you know, since then, alhamdulillah, because I went to Air University,
Okay, wow, very
you know, so it was governed by the Pakistan Air Force itself. So the discipline was there. So don't you think that we need to do that too?
Yes, it's actually, I've seen it in Pakistan. You hardly see, you know, very well dressed people in office in the morning. I always tell my team, at least I'm starting from, you know, home, so I am trying to convince them they can. But there is one thing, Shahzad. There are different cultures in Pakistan.
True.
Pashtun culture,
Yep.
and then we have Balochi people, then we have Punjabis, and few are very groomed ones.
Yep.
So they were going to school and colleges. You can't force them on that. I would say tie, pant, coat is not a problem. You need to tell them about the etiquettes.
True. Thank you
need
so
to
much.
hire more females in the office so that you know, the gender balance is really important.
Yep.
If you're not hiring the females, so they won't be able to come,
get
you
to that
know, in
point.
a proper way.
And thank you so much for saying that, because what I was trying to refer to was not, wearing a suit. Whatever you're wearing, it be shalwar kameez, it be pant shirt, or whatever, it needs to be ironed, it needs to be worn properly as well. And that's it, But thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Sonia,
you.
for being
Thank
with
you
us.
very
Lovely
much
to be
for
in
inviting.
conversation
Thank
with
you
you.
so much.
Thank
And
you.
you can get all the skills, but ladies and gentlemen, being on time is a habit. If you're not on time, I don't think that you can get anywhere in life. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading out to the shop break. Once you guys will come back, we have an interesting segment which will actually kind of contribute to the conversation that we've had now. It's more about women empowerment, financial inclusion, how being at home, they can still be those effective members of the community who are helping. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we're heading out towards the short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back, and before going on to the break, we were having a very productive discussion regarding global skills empowerment and how when we talk about the women empowerment, the youth empowerment, we can bring them together under the one platform. But that brings us to a very interesting discussion, and that discussion hinges around the concept of the handcrafts. So, Shahzad, I'm always very fond of investing money on the handcrafts. Why? Because handcraft has a sense of identity of the people or the weavers who were involved, or I would like to say the skilled labor that was involved in creating that particular kind of, maybe it's a cloth, maybe it's a part of a carpet, or it's a piece of some other jewelry or something else, because that is an expression of your creativity, of your identity. And in this era of mass production, where we do see that there are lots of designer clothes that are popping up, or generally there are things that are coming from the factory, so that gives them an element of uniformity, right? So you do see that the one sort of things they have, they're in abundance and they have propped up across the market. But when we talk about the handcrafts, so there's a sense of belonging and identity in every craft, and is the story behind it, because that person has crafted it. And I think in today's era, we do see that there's a dearth of those handcrafts. So how can we preserve the identity of the handcrafts? And when we talk about the handcraft of Pakistan, so Pakistan has a very rich culture. So be it the pottery, be it the hand looming, or the carpets, or the clothes, or the jewelry, or other stuff. So I think we need to preserve that, and it's high time that we talk about it, because we have been joined by someone who is not just an entrepreneur, but she's also given a platform to all of these handcrafters, where they can identify under the one platform and present their arts, their stories, their unique identity, and also the work of the cultural preservation that is at the play when we talk about that. So we are very glad that we have been joined by the founder of Let's Grow Together, which is the concept hinged around the handcrafts, and she happens to be Ambreen Haider. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much for coming to our show.
Assalam. Thank you so much for inviting me.
And
Ms. Ambreen, it's wonderful. Sorry, Ms. Ambreen, it's wonderful to have you over here, because number one, because Haja has actually hit the nail on the head. Whatever she said, we 100% agree with it. But the only problem with me was I like to buy such stuff, but I never knew where I can get it from, right? So it's more like when you travel into GB, it's more like when you travel into rural areas of Punjab, that you will get to see these crafts, but we never saw. So imagine we had the opportunity to have you over, because you're the one who's providing them that bridge. Let's talk about it. How did you come up with this idea?
Basically, Let's Grow Together is a private limited. The concept behind it, that as I am a crafter myself and I was doing my business, so I felt that there's no such platform for women who are working from their home. There's no opportunities for them to display their craft and to market them. So we made Let's Grow Together in 2018.
And the tagline was "अपनों से खरीदें."
अपनों से
हमारे वाले
खरीदें,
तो हम कोई भी दुकान खोले खरीदते नहीं, मुफ्त ले जाते हैं.
अपनों से खरीदें अपनों के लिए. You know, when you are gifting something to a very close one, so you can customize for him or her by these women and other.
So what sorts of craftsmen and craftswomen are we talking about over here? So is it like is there a particular form of art that you deal with? Is there a particular form of craft that you deal with? Or is it open for all? Anybody can come in and display whatever they want to display?
Basically, in our community, they are urban crafters.
Okay.
So they are running their businesses from their homes. So a lot of women are doing everything lonely, like one-man show.
Yep.
So they are making bed linen to home decor, jewelry. I'm wearing jewelry
At their home.
made of my friend.
Mashallah, looks really expensive though.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Handmade is expensive also
yep.
because it's made with love, made with passion.
And
you
a
know,
lot of labor too.
a
right?
lot of labor.
Yeah.
And made in Pakistan is my love. You know,
And you know what, world over, I think for everybody who's out there, who are well traveled, we do see that, that there are things which are made by hand are always really very expensive. So it may be any shoe brand, maybe any jewelry brand, maybe any other brand. This is something that, I've experienced for myself. But there's one more point which I've realized, and that is that when we actually provide them with an opportunity to bridge them with their sellers or other businesses who can sell their craft, what happens is that they buy stuff off them at a very cheaper price, and then they sell it in the international market at a very expensive price as well. I've seen a lot of women sitting over here who said that, that we provide them that bridge, but when we did our research, they would buy a necklace for 100 rupees from somebody, sell it for probably 10,000 rupees, so manifold. So people have taken a very wrong turn within providing that opportunity, and those people are so innocent that they do not understand whether they've been taken advantage of. So is that something that you do as well?
So I think he's highlighting a very important point, which is the role of the middleman, right? So it's the middleman that is benefiting from this entire enterprise, and the person who is actually making does not get the amount of the money, right? So how do you eliminate that middleman so that the money flows back?
Basically, in Pakistan, I think the problem behind that we are not much exploring our items because of the role of middleman is very bad.
True.
But in our community, there is no middleman. The person behind the business is in front of you, and she is selling their craft in our craft shows, and you can connect with her. And now, because of the social platforms, it's easier to connect real maker through the Instagram or Facebook or any other platform. So things are changing, but we don't have any support from government and any other platforms. We are doing ourselves.
And what sort of a support do you want when we talk about the government support or state support? Because we are sitting on the state channel, and you do have a voice if you want to voice out your missing gaps in that.
When we plan an event, the main thing, venue is very costly, like in lakhs, 5-6 lakhs per day for a venue. So government can do a physical platform, like they can display their product where only made by women, a platform or shop, even a small shop can do this, where they can make racks for them, we can display their product. These crafters are very much educated and skillful, but they don't have any platform.
And when you talk about platforms, so what sort of platform are you talking about? Are you giving them
display shop or rapid exhibition to governments, like monthly exhibitions?
Right.
You know, we have a lot of women working now because after COVID, home-based industry is flourishing day by day, and every day a small business starts, and every day a small business is ending.
Exactly, and this is something that we really need to talk about. Now, imagine that you spoke about these quarterly events which take place, where where you would provide them with an opportunity. They will come, exhibit whatever they have made, and the only thing that they will be paying for is that whatever platform you provide them over there as well, maybe 50,000, 70,000, made be a cubicle, a table, even to display the things on. So why do you think that you have kept it quarterly? Why don't you think that it needs to be done more regularly as well?
Actually, not I am doing only the events now. A lot of people are doing their event, but at government level, we have a lot of opportunities. We will be connecting more people, like we can do internationally. We can expose internationally. We can be exposed with the people who are the right customers. Now, when we exhibit, we only communicate with the community we have, the clientele we have, but when it will be on government level, the clientele will be vast.
Exactly. And how is it, how is it that, that all of these people, they come to you, they exhibit with you as well, but they haven't learned that how they really need to reach out to their seller by themselves? Why do they still need people like Umbreen or other people or other organizations? I can name a few as well over here. I've seen this office in F6 as well, I don't know, so I do not really recall, but there are a lot of other organizations who are doing so. Why is it that, that person who actually is himself or herself a craftsman or a woman is unable to still reach out to their customers? Why do we still need people like you? Why are they not empowered as of now?
They are reaching out. Actually, they all have their
कोई ना कोई एक
personal.
मैडम मिली होती है, वो मैडम कहती है मैं इतने पीस बना के भेज दो तो मैं आगे भेज दूंगी. वो डायरेक्ट क्यों नहीं हुआ अभी तक, आज तक?
Actually, this is not like that. If I am making something, so I have a specific clientele,
Yep.
and I know what they want.
Yeah.
Now things are a bit
Changing,
changed. Now
okay.
the madams behind all these are outdated now.
Right.
Thank
Because
you.
we are aware of our targeted audience, and
Yeah.
we can even target them through social media.
Yep.
Right.
So market is changed, but still we need our physical presence. So we
True.
do exhibitions,
True.
and I always ask government to make a display center for women only products. Made in Pakistan by women itself, a very beautiful
Prestigious, yes.
thing.
Yes.
I mean, it
You know,
is. I mean, I'm
and-
not against the idea, but let's have products from everyone. Yeah, rather than kisko.
No, no,
Yeah.
but
Yes, for everyone, but made by women, because I am working for my women.
Alhamdulillah.
It's not like हम खवातीन एक अलग जगह बना लें,
Yeah.
but we need a specific space.
जहाँ पे
For
हाँ, where
us.
it's conducive environment.
Yes.
Everybody
Because-
stands together, work together, eat together.
It's not like we, whenever we plan an event, and we ask our vendor to stand with your family, with
Okay.
your male family members,
Alright.
to portray a good
Image.
family image
Yeah.
of Pakistan, that our women is supported by the male family members.
Mashallah.
We are not alone, and it's a fact.
It is, and imagine that this is that bit where I was talking about, that this is the financial inclusion bit of our, women at our houses as well. Imagine for whatever hard work that they do. We do know, for a reason that how in the rural areas of our country they're not being paid for whatever work they do, even in the fields, right?
And that's very true, and I think that's why we need to make that invisible labor a more visible labor that can contribute towards the GDP of the country. But Amreen, why do you focus on the handcrafts aspect of that? Yes, women empowerment is a public discourse nowadays, and there has been a lot of talk that is going on this particular topic, but why particularly handcrafts? Why not some other things?
Basically, I am a handcrafter. That's why
Okay.
it's my
Yeah.
go-to area. But we have resellers in our community. We have social media handlers in our community, and other educationists also. But because we do events and we promote handmade, so more people are like that. But women are doing wonderful in every field. It's not like only we can do silai kadhai. We can do anything.
But there's one more
I
problem.
think that's very important, because as a woman, as a wife, you're also raising your kids, you're nurturing your entire household, and apart from that, when you're working, so I think that's a very double, triple responsibilities that has been going up. But Amreen, one thing that stands out in your conversation, and that is very remarkable, is that you have provided a platform for those women, right? So you are doing your business yourself, and you're also sort of providing them a breeding ground where they can display their arts, crafts. And as I talked about it, every arts and craft has a story behind it, and that story tells about the cultural preservation, that talks about environment sustainability, and it has a story of how hard work goes into it, right? So how did you thought of this idea of giving them a platform? Because as I can see, it's easier to do your business rather than providing them a platform.
Yes,
So
it was not only easy, but it was only financially stable for me.
True.
Let's Grow Together is not so stable in financial, but as I told you, I am a crafter myself,
Right.
so I know what crafter is
Facing.
going
Yeah.
through. So I started as a community, and our initial slogan was "औरत ही औरत की दोस्त है,"
Right.
because we know my friend is going through what time,
Yeah,
and
but I see
how
it
she
otherwise
is
that-
handling a house and kids and a business. So I start with this slogan, and now mashallah we have a very big community,
Alhamdulillah.
and the main things we are doing, we are collaborating with each other,
Each other,
and
yeah.
each other, and we know if I need to buy something, then first I message to my community, please I need this, somebody have to, they message me, and then I give it a priority to buy with my friend, from my friends and my community.
And that's wonderful. But in addition to this, when you have quarterly events as well. So okay, ladies and gentlemen, we actually short on time as well, so we need to actually kind of wrap it up as well. But thank you so much,
Thank you so
Ms.
much.
Ambreen, for being
Thank
with
you,
us.
Jay.
Lovely to be in conversation with you. And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, look after yourselves. It's a good morning. It's a great week ahead. Look after.
Good morning.